Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsung Kong. Homage to the 16 Dharma King Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of the group practice today, Guru Padmasambhava. Simu, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, and the disciples present here and over the internet, and all participating VIPs today, Madam to Ambassador Daniel Liao, the Taipei rep to Sweden, Dharma Sister Judy, from the scholars group of True Buddhist School, the professor of the National Tsung Kung University, the Electrical Department, Professor Wang, the producers for Kenny Tensang Shinton from CTI TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi, Dr. Ryan Zhuang, and Dr. Lin, a member of the Sunny Line Dance Group, Dharma Sister Erika Chen, good evening, everybody. How do you do? This evening, we had the group practice of Guru Padmasambhava. And as I said before, Guru Padmasambhava is lotus born out of a lotus blossom. And at the Dhanakosha lake or ocean. So in India, we refer to the lake as an ocean because it was a big lake. And born out of a lotus blossom was Guru Padmasambhava. And when he was still little, he was brought back by a king to the palace. So Guru Padmasambhava had no father and no mother. He was transformed out of a lotus blossom. So he was a true lotus youth or Padma Kumara. And in his biography or hagiography, it was written that he was the combined emanation of the body, speech, and mind of Amitabha Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha, and Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. So that's why he was a Dharma king. He's not the king of the human realm, but he was a Dharma king. And then later on, he studied Tantric Buddhism and had great attainment or siddhi. And then later on, he went to Tibet at the time of King Trizong Tetchen, who invited him to go to Tibet. because at that time in Tibet there were lots of demons and monsters disturbing the Buddha Dharma there. So Santarakshita was an Indian guru in Tibet. He could not subdue the monsters and the demons, so he asked King Trizong Tejin to invite Guru Padmasambhava to go to Tibet. And Guru Padmasambhava stayed in Tibet for 50 years, for a total of 50 years. So, in terms of the lineage, Guru Padmasambhava brought Tantrayana to Tibet. And of the 4 Tibetan sects, they all highly revere Guru Padmasambhava. And the most famous one was King Trizong Tejin, who offered his own queen, Yeshe Chogal, to Guru Padmasambhava. So she became the consort or spiritual companion of Guru Padmasambhava at the place called Chimpu. They practiced together there. So these were all recorded in Guru Padmasambhava hagiography. And the most important thing about Guru Padmasambhava was Guru Padmasambhava and King Trizong Tejin and Santarakshita together built the first Buddhist temple in Tibet, the Samye Temple. Please raise your hand if you've been there. Many people have been there. So when the Samye Temple was built, it was built according to the Buddhist understanding of the universe at the center, Mount Sumeru, and the 4 big continents around it and the 8 smaller continents around it, and all the rivers and the oceans around it. Around the 4 big continents and the 8 small continents. That was the Samye Temple. So, in the Samye Temple complex, there were Indian style, Tibetan style, and Chinese style. So it's a combination of these 3 styles. And at that time, King Trizong Tejin paid homage to Guru Padmasambhava as his guru. And Guru Padmasambhava's true guru was Sri Singha. And Sri Singha was a Chinese person from Tang dynasty, but it was not recorded in the Tang dynasty. Sri Singha was not recorded in the Tang dynasty, and Sri Singha got the lineage transmission of Great Perfection Dharma, who taught it to Guru Padmasambhava. And the teaching was called the Dakini Nyiktik or Dakini teachings. And Sri Singha also transmitted to a Tibetan who was called Vairochana, who has the same name as Vairocana Buddha, but this is a person. And the lineage went all the way to Longchenpa, who combined the two lineages, the teachings from Guru Padmasambhava and the teachings of Vairochana, combined by Longchenpa to become the great perfection lineage, which is the highest lineage of Nyingma, which Grandmaster has taught quite a bit. So Guru Padmasambhava was really great. And we can say that Guru Padmasambhava was the second Buddha of Udayana. At the time of Sakyamuni Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha had also transmitted Tantric Buddha Dharma. But because of the circumstances, Sakyamuni Buddha taught mostly Hinayana Buddha Dharma at that time because of the circumstances. But the Buddha had also taught Mahayana Buddha Dharma and Tantrayana Buddha Dharma. But when the Buddha was alive, Mahayana Buddha Dharma and Tantrayana Buddha Dharma were not very widespread. Only the Hinayana Buddha Dharma was widespread. So that's why everybody thought that Sakyamuni Buddha did not teach the Mahayana nor Vajrayana Buddha Dharma. That was wrong. Because at the Sri Dakakayana Pagoda, Sakyamuni Buddha transformed to become Kalachakra and taught the king Durjaya or Yu Xuan. And that was the Kalachakra Buddha Dharma. So, but why? The Kalachakra was regarded as a Dharma teaching from Hinduism, but no. Because Kalachakra stepped on Mahaswara and Mahaswara consort. So Mahaswara and Mahaswara's consort was stepped on by Kalachakra, and that was the god from Hinduism called Shiva and Shiva's wife. So that's why Kalachakra was the Buddhism. 哎呀，我听不到了。It's really bad. So Kalachakra and Chakrasamvara and many other Herukas were taught by Sakyamuni Buddha. And also Uchishima. Uchishima is also a tantric dharma. So at the time of the Buddha, they were already tantric Buddha Dharma. So Guru Padmasambhava was considered as the second Buddha of Udayana. So he had the attainment like Sakyamuni Buddha. 还是很严重的，非常严重，而且 continuous. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the sound. The Chinese sound is really bad. So what is Buddhism? So, it's really bad.
现在也没有办法 fix。
没有办法 fix 吗 ？Cannot fix it.
它需要多一个东西。
Can you make the voice maybe through the TV?
There's no way you can fix right now.
Maybe unplug this.
Connection. Unplug it. Okay.
At least we can hear something.
The quality is very bad.
Yeah. See. So in Bodhisattvahood, it includes awakening self and awakening others. And Buddhahood is awakening, is the complete awakening action. And Shravaka Buddhahood is awakening self. And they haven't awakened others, and they don't have the complete attainment of the awakening. That's Arhat. So only this awakening self. Oh, Jesus. So the four sixthly realms, Buddhahood, Bodhisattvahood, Pratyeka Buddhas, and Arhatship. So Pratyeka Buddhahood is according to the 12 causes and conditions to attain Buddhahood. So what is Buddhahood? What is Bodhisattvahood? What is Pratyeka Buddhahood? What is Shravakahood? Now you understand very clearly. If you awaken yourself but you don't save sentient beings, that's Arhatship. But if you are awakened and also you are trying to awaken others and yet your enlightenment activities is not perfect yet, that's Bodhisattvahood. But if you awaken yourself and you have awakened others and yet your awakening activities is perfect, then that's Buddhahood. So Guru Padmasambhava was referred as the second Buddha of Udayana. So he is enlightened himself, he's enlightened others, and his enlightened activities is perfect. So all four schools of Tibetan Buddhism highly revere Guru Padmasambhava. So he's considered the first lineage guru in Tibet. And he's born from a lotus, so of course he's a lotus youth, or Padma Kumara. And he is called Guru Padmasambhava, which is a lotus horn. And his Vajra name is the ocean-born lotus. He has many Vajra names, and one of them is the ocean-born Vajra, because he was born in the Dhanakosha ocean. And today we will continue to talk about Lamdre of the Sakya school, Lamdre. Let me read an excerpt from the book. The last one in the indivisibility of samsara and nirvana is called the differences in guarding. It refers to the Dharma practices to guard against downfalls into the waysides of wisdoms, methods, or both. There are 8 kinds of practices to guard against downfalls into the waysides of methods. 8 kinds of practices to guard against downfalls into the waysides of wisdom, and 14 kinds of practices to guard against downfalls into the waysides of both. for a total of 30 kinds. These are the Dharma to eliminate the above commonly encountered obstructions during our spiritual cultivation. So this is talking about guarding or protection. In the past, I encountered many obstructions and my gurus taught me, please perform Dharma practice. What kind? So it's a protection wheel. And in Buddhism, we often use the term wheel. What is this wheel? We could say that's a Dharma. So protection wheel is the same as protector, protection Dharma. So he asked me to do the practice of the protector. And do I often do it? Yes, every day. Every single day I would perform the Dharma practice of the protector. There are many Buddha disciples who don't perform the Dharma practice of the protector. They just do the Dharma practice of the yidam. Why is Dharma protector very important? Because the Dharma protector can help, which was mentioned at the last part of the excerpt, like monsters, karmic demons, mind demons, monsters, spirits, ghosts, and disturbances or distractions from them. So every day we do the protector Dharma. Every day. So when I sleep, I'm different from everyone. In the past, I would perform the light sleep and dream light. Every day before sleep, I would recite in Taiwanese. Born to be reborn into the Pure Land, leave behind all suffering and attain happiness. Namo Amitabha. I'm asking Golden Mother to be in charge, and I would recite 3 times. And then Yidam appears, protector appears. And Om Ahom to bless you with the light. And your own Om becomes white light and emit to the sky, and Ah at the throat becomes red light emitted to the sky, and Hom becomes blue light emitted to the sky, and with Pang they would spread like a net and cover your whole bed. So there's a red light, white light, and blue light enveloping your whole bed. And then you sleep and enter into the dream. That's a very easy visualization. And it can be done very fast. And you should do it before you fall asleep. And you recite and visualize. Or you could perform that you disappear. With lung, your bed becomes fire and burn your whole body completely. And you become ash. With yang, the wind would blow the ash of your body and disperse it completely. It's gone. And with kang, you enter into the space. And since you are gone, the demons will not come and find you. If you still exist, and you transform yourself to become Vajra scepter. And outside there's a net of protection with Om Ahom that manifests as the net to envelope you. Then you would not be afraid of those things. There's nothing to be afraid of. And these last few days, recently, even the door to my bedroom, I sealed. I sealed all things. I sealed the fireplace, the door to the bathroom. I sealed all of them. And then I get into bed, and then I perform the light protection, which is the light sleep and dream. So how do I seal it? Is what I wrote in the book. At each every door, there would be a Mahabala at each and every door and window. So Mahabala at my door, and another Mahabala at the door to my bathroom, and Mahabala at the fireplace, and Mahabala at the window. They're all sealed. Then you will not be disturbed. Then you would sleep really well. So this, you perform the protection wheel this way with Mahabala. And Mahabala appeared in front of the fireplace, and the door to the bathroom, to the washroom, and at the door to my bedroom, and in my glass windows there would be Mahabala. So there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glass windows. So every night I would recite Mahabala mantras, and with the Mahabala fire, and visualize Mahabala above my bed. So Mahabala would be placed, would be positioned there. And then with this, Mahabala would be at the front door. And with Om Mahabalaya Soha, Mahabala would be at that door. And Om Mahabalaya Soha, Mahabala would be at the gift shop. And Om Mahabalaya Soha, he would be at the windows and at all the glass windows. Om Mahabalaya Soha. So now, so now do you know how to do it? So that's perfect. Then you would sleep really well. So all the Vajra protectors would be protecting you around your bedroom. Then of course you would sleep really well and you will not be disturbed. You recite Om Mahabalaya Hom Hom Be, either of the mantras, they are the same. So now do you know how to perform this protection wheel? And of course normally you need to make offering to Mahabala. In the daytime you make offering to Mahabala, and at night then it will be easy to invite him because he has received your offering. Then he would be kind enough to come. because you have made offering to him, then he would definitely come. So for the 3 meals, like when Grandmaster is eating, I would lift up my plate above my brows, and that's offering. That's a gesture of offering. So the protection wheel is to perform protection. Protection is very important, like just written in the Lamdre. Don't go to the extremes of convenient methods or wisdom. What does it mean? Does it mean we cannot use our wisdom? No, that's not the case. Don't fall into other kinds of wisdom. There are many of them. And don't fall into the skillful means. And Grandmaster follows the wishes of sentient beings, but sometimes it becomes too relaxed. And that would be problematic, because you all know that Grandmaster always follows the wishes of sentient beings. It's one of the 10 great vows of Samantabhadra Bodhisattva. But Grandmaster follows the wishes of sentient beings. But then the sentient beings becomes do as they like and become too lax. That would be troublesome. There's a book and it talked about a lot of things. It's not written about just one person, but about all sentient beings. And the book is finished and sent back. It's a book that I wrote this past 2 months. It's not pointed or targeted toward one single person, but toward all sentient beings. So the way of protection exists. So if you didn't sleep well, with the way of protection wheel, then you would sleep well every night. She has this habit that if there's a problem or an issue at hand, then she would be thinking about it over and over, then she can't sleep. But I have no troubles in my heart. Why? Because I realize there's nothing to gain. So I cut off all my worries and afflictions. But the silly fools are afflicted. So the silly people and the fools are troubled because they thought that, or they think that they can gain something, they can get something. But actually we all know that you're born with nothing and you die not bringing anything. But you're still troubled. Why? Because you cannot see through it. So it's like you're cross eyes. Like if you like money, there's a two-wheeler disciple called the wanting money. Or let money come, or I want lots of money. There are 2 kinds of flowers, but in Chinese, flowers is like spending, which is you have lots of money, limitless money to spend. But you cannot see through that. Grandmaster doesn't spend money, doesn't buy much things. In America, I just buy gas for my car. And in Taiwan, I spend money just to buy water, bottled water, because you can't drink from the tap water. So we need to buy bottled water. And there's no other spending up until now. Huh? It's been a few months since my return to America, about 4 months, over 4 months. I have never been to the grocery store. I have never been to any department store. Never. So where did I go? The temple, Rainbow Temple, and my home and Tantric Quarter. Just these 4 places. No other place. I don't go to the grocery stores. I don't go to the department stores. That's how it is. The teacher asked Xiaoming, 1 plus 1 is? And Xiaoming said, I don't know. Stupid, huh? You and I. Then we're 2 stupid people. People of this world know that you're born with nothing and you die bringing nothing. But yet you still get attached. Although I'm teaching you to be enlightened, that there's nothing to gain, that Grandmaster can see through that and take it lightly. That's why Grandmaster is not afflicted. And at True Buddha School, there are waves after waves of issues. In my life, there's like waves after waves continually, never stops. But whatever, let it be. I'm not attached to True Buddha School. As long as I can attain Buddhahood in my spiritual cultivation and bring my disciples to attain Buddhahood together, that's good enough. So I'm not attached, I don't have hang-ups about True Buddha School and what would happen to it in the future, the plan for True Buddha School. No, none. I am not attached to True Buddha School, although I am the founder of True Buddha School. So what else would I be attached to? So even if True Buddha School dies, it's okay. Because it didn't exist before. And it just returned to the original point. So what's so big deal? It's okay if True Buddha School doesn't exist. No big deal. It doesn't matter. So that's my spirit. So who's the silly fool? Who's the right barrel? Now you can tell. Open your eyes and see who is the silly fool and who has attained the wisdom of the Tathagata. You need to see it clearly and discern. I don't establish my own association. I don't build my own temples. Did I ever receive other people's real estate properties? No, never. And all the offerings that you have made to me, that's more than enough. I'm very content and happy. I don't need anything else. This is the true face of Grandmaster Lu. Who built Rainbow Temple? Grandmaster, of course. It was my money to build Rainbow Temple. And Master Lian Si, the second brother of the Chen brothers, hired construction workers using Grandmaster and Simu's money to build Rainbow Temple. And legally, the head of Rainbow Temple is Master Lian Yin now. So Master Lian Yin, only with Master Lian Yin's signature that we can sell Rainbow Temple. So Master Lian Yin is the owner now, although Grandmaster spent the money to build it and then transferred it to Master Lian Yin, but with one condition, that Rainbow Temple is a non-profit, charitable organization for the propagation of Buddha Dharma. That's why any head or owner of the organization can only use it to spread Buddha Dharma. Xiaoqi asked her dad, Dad, why the penguin's kid asked the dad, why is our tummy white and the rest are black? And the dad replied, that's our shame. Because we could only wash our tummy because our hands are too short. The penguins. The joke symbolizes there are 2 points in the world, including the 8 trigrams, 1 black and 1 white, and they are equal. And penguins also has black and white. Spiritual cultivators should cultivate until they become completely white and ultimately attain Buddhahood. So you need to take out all the black karma, all the bad karma, and what is left is the pure yang, and you can attain Buddhahood and be master of yourself. So what is the cleansing or returning to your original purity, to become white? Because the human world is like a huge pot of contamination. So once you enter into the world, then you are contaminated by the wealth, sensuality, name, sleep, and food. So once you enter into the world, then it's like entering into the pickling pot. You all become pickles. So you need to cleanse or purify yourself. And that's also a kind of protection. Once you're being cleansed, depurified, then you need to protect yourself. Spiritual cultivators have to protect. So to cleanse all the dirt and contaminants. So the blessings of the Guru is also a kind of this repurification. And the altar of the Kuan Yin's body is also a kind of the protection wheel. And the fourfold protection is also a kind of protection. Sometimes in your cultivation, in your meditation, you first perform the fourfold protection. Above is the Vajra net. On the four sides, the four Vajra walls. And underneath the Vajra foundation. And then around the walls, that would be the Vajra fire. And you're at the middle. Then you are performing protection in your spiritual cultivation. That's Cha Hom Pan Ho, the fourfold protection. So that's a kind of a protection wheel. So they are too loud. So they have like a drunk driving too loud. Down, a little bit down. Sorry. So I blew breath into the alcohol test, and yet I couldn't. But the police scolded on me because he was the drunkard. And he was actually walking, he wasn't driving. And the policeman said, "What are you testing? You're not driving." And the drunkard said, "Oh, I was so drunk that I forgot to drive." So this joke was a lot of fun. Because let me tell you that alcohol is addictive. That's why one of the 5 basic precepts is intoxication. So spiritual cultivators don't drink because it can confuse your mind. Only one thing is very addictive, and that's ghost. Yeah? So if you're addictive to the ghosts, it's very addictive. So Grandmaster is not afraid of ghosts. So even male ghosts, not afraid of. Moreover, the female ghost, Grandmaster is not afraid of. Because Grandmaster knows the 5 thunders Dharma. It's inside my palm. So if I open my palm with the 5 thunders, the ghosts would lose. The best protection is the 9-syllable mantra. 领并斗者力争界在前. 4 verticals and 5 horizontal lines. Very simple. Everybody can do it. Or the Jing character. 1 horizontal line is a river, and the second is a large river, and the 3 and the 4 form the character Jing, or well in Chinese. And if it points to the heavens, it would be clear. Points to the earth, the earth would be safe, and it points to the person will be healthy, and point to the ghost would be gone. So Grandmaster has this 9-syllable mantra and the 5 thunder or the thunder sound inside Grandmaster's palm. And the great power Vajra, which is Mahabala, and then the cutting mudra of Akala. So I am the chief of the Ghostbusters. So you're all kind of like convoluted and crooked, and you always encountered spirits. You're attached by spirits once you've gone to the movie theaters, or to the bath, the public bath, or to the earth god temple, or seeing coffins, or funeral homes, or to the hospitals. Then you're attached by the spirits. There are lots of ghosts inside the hospitals, the butcher's place, temples that's filled with ghosts, cemeteries, and remote empty places, and beaches by the oceans. It's very easy for you to be attached by spirits. Why? Because you have ghosts inside your heart, your mind. So because you're weird, so because you have ghosts inside your heart, of course then the ghosts would come to you. But ghosts also have supernatural power. That's correct. Even the ghosts of the lowest level have supernatural power. All the way, spirits from ghosts all the way to Buddhas, from the lowest kind to the highest kind. They all have some supernatural power. So especially a group of ghosts, it's easy to get rid of one ghost. So pointing to the ghost, and the ghosts would be dead. It's very easy. But if there are hundreds of them or thousands of them coming together, what do you think Grandmaster should do? How would you save me? Let me tell you. I would turn around and run. Actually, I don't need to run. I would use a Vajra wall to block them, and then with Vajra fire to burn them. And they cannot climb over the Vajra walls. Typical walls they can walk through, but Vajra walls they cannot. And the Vajra fire, they will not be able to go through them, because once they go through the Vajra fire, they would become yakitori. You know what yakitori is? It's a burned chicken. They would be burned. So even thousands of them, there's nothing to afraid. So there are 4 walls on the 4 sides. If they come from the back, another Vajra walls. And if they come from above, there would be Vajra net. And if they come from below, there would be Vajra foundation. The 4-fold protections. Cha Hom Pan Ho. Immediately. So what are you afraid of? You can protect yourself. So please don't let me recognize you, the ghost. Otherwise you would be inside my palm. then I would greet you with fire, Homa fire. I would catch you and put you into a burning oil. So there's some who eats ghosts, and Grandmaster too. Grandmaster is not afraid of ghosts, and Grandmaster is a ghost buster. So with millions of ghosts, Grandmaster has millions of protectors to counter them. Please don't make offering to ghosts. By all means, please don't. So although if you offer to them, they would help you in the beginning. That's right. So if every day you respect the ghosts, every day, and then you're connected to them, that's also kind of like a yoga. You don't have yoga, you don't have spiritual union with the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, or the sagely realms, or the heavenly beings, but you are connected with the ghosts because you make offering to the ghosts, and of course the ghosts would come to you. So if you make offering, of course they would come to you. Lots of ghosts would come to you. So when you are being inundated by the ghosts, then you would be befuddled. Your brain would be fogged, and you can't think clearly because all ghosts are inside you. You would be like the drunkard. You would be intoxicated. And then you pray at the temple of ghosts because you're respectful and you bow and you pay homage to the ghosts. Then of course you would gain some psychic power or supernatural power. And even if you just raise or employ one ghost, like in Thailand, that ghost is good enough to help you, as you have heard. So as long as you make offering to the ghost, then the ghost would follow you wherever you go. So like when signing contract, the ghost would intoxicate the person, and they would sign out of confusion. They have no clear mind. So there are many entertainers and artists who go to Thailand and get the ghosts and raise them at a certain time and make offering to the ghosts, and the ghosts would help them. So they would have lots of fans, and all the fans would always be bemused by you, even with just like one button open, like all the girls just in hysteria. But that was because of the ghosts confusing you. If my wife dared to say a word to me, then I would reply 5 words. And if she scolded me with a statement, I would reply 10 times. The difference is she would say it loudly, but I would just say it silently in my heart. And this is called using tenderness to counter the hardship. So ghosts have outer appearance and inner appearance. Sometimes you become a ghost and you don't even know it, because you're connected to ghosts and you're always together with the ghost. Then of course. So every day you're carrying the talisman for the ghost. So they say like the ghost talisman, you always bring it on you, then of course you're connected with the ghost. Then of course you have some supernatural power. Then of course you have lots of fans. And people willingly take their money to you, please accept it. If you don't accept it, I would be angry. So you can get lots of money. But Grandmaster never asked anyone to offer to ghost. We are like this. We just hope that the ghost would be at peace, that all the ghosts become good ghosts who help people, and they are positioned at a certain place and they're not roaming about. There are ghosts at Grandmaster's house, and actually at every house there are ghosts. You know, people can't deceive ghosts. If you don't perform protection at your house, and you are doing that with your girlfriend or your wife, and your audience would be lots of ghosts, and the ghosts would be really pleased watching that and their life. So there are lots of those invisible spirits watching. And in the booth rooms, do you know that there are lots of ghosts around? Because there are lots of blood around, and they are fighting for the blood. So if there is no womb god protecting the baby, they may snatch the baby too. So you think there is no ghost in the childbirth room? So during childbirth, you should also do protection, so that the ghosts don't snatch the baby, and that they don't try to get the blood of the during childbirth in the delivery room. You know, even in the toilets there are ghosts, because ghosts drink pee. And they eat poo. That's Cantonese. So they eat those stuff. They also want those dirty stuff. There are ghosts all over the place. That's why we have to do armor protection at any time. Om Pani Lansari. And you know who Pani is? Pani is Vajrapani, Vajrahan Bodhisattva, who is your protector. Om Pani Lansari. Om Pani Lansari. That's Vajrapani. Guru said, the teacher said, that wants to become somebody else's nanny. Why? Do you know the the wiper on the windshield? What is it for? It's to place the tickets, parking tickets. So affinities make you connect. So birds of feathers flock together. So that means if your mind is clean and clear, then your heart is very radiant, then you're connected to the Buddhas. If you're very compassionate, you're always helpful, then you're connected with the Bodhisattvas all the way down. But if there are ghosts inside your heart, and you strive for fame and benefits, and there are ghosts inside your heart, then you would be connected with the ghost. So birds of a feather flock together. So this is the joke, the meaning of the jokes. So today I sneezed 5 to 6 times. So I was curious who is thinking of me. I have no boyfriend. Is there somebody that's silently thinking of me? And I thought about all the men, the boys, and one by one I eliminate them, and finally my conclusion is I caught cold. I'm catching cold. So she's smart. So today we should also say that if you are attached by spirits and they get the energy from you and you become weak and you have no energy and spirits, even after you sleep for a long time at night, you still feel very tired. That's the stealing of energy by the ghosts. And second is disturbances, so that whatever you do, you would be befuddled and confused. And third is you get sick. But illnesses is not always mental illnesses. If it's a physical, then it can be cured by the doctors. But if it is a mental or spiritual illness, then you have to find a psychiatrist or psychologist. And if they can't cure you, then you need to find your lineage root guru to help you resolve it. And if the lineage guru cannot cure you, now I'm asking you, what should you do? Then you are already occupied by the strong power of the ghosts, that you have very strong affinity with the ghosts, that if the ghost come to find you, then from past lives you are enemies with the ghost, that the lineage root guru cannot resolve that entanglement. You need to know that if you kill, then you have to lose life. That's an ancient Chinese proverb. If you kill someone, that person would follow you. But if your young energy is very full and robust, then they may not be able to touch you. But when you are low and down, then they would attack you. And when lineage root guru tries to help you, then they would appear in front of the lineage root guru and say that because we were killed by that person, so the lineage root guru cannot do anything about it. So like when they're entangled like that, that's just destiny and karmic. And even the lineage root guru will not be able to untangle that kind of entanglement. And he has to use many, many different ways to resolve that, like a bardo deliverance, etc. That's the issue. So in Buddhism, we always talk about karma, about cause and effect, about karmic retribution. So that's why I say you have to be responsible for your own karma. It is impossible to resolve it. So for those that cannot be resolved, like when time is ripe and it cannot be lengthened, then you cannot save them because it's time. And the affinity has to be resolved in this life, and he or she has to suffer the karmic retribution with no other choice. But things that can be resolved by the lineage root guru, the lineage root guru will definitely help. But things that cannot be resolved, the guru would tell you that it is very difficult to resolve certain karmic affinity.